got our own accompaniment right here. It's a new open that we're putting together.
Very pretty.
And the young man that is playing is Harrison Brewer, right there. Keep playing, buddy. I'm paying you a lot of money for this, okay? You got to earn it.
He's a talented guy.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
You said you love that music.
I do.
Yeah, keep playing it. I mean, he's going to loop it.
We have his parents here today.
I know. They've been, actually, they've been our friends before they were married.
That's
Yeah.
pretty close.
And I've got to show you something. This is his latest book, Breakthrough Health. Okay? There it is. Now,
What's his name?
Ted and Sharon Brewer. He's Dr. Ted, actually.
Yeah.
And so keep that on the screen, Dave. Now, they're in their early 50s, which, you know, breakthrough health in your early 50s, that's no big deal. Because basically, you're young. I mean, I've got a son that's 51, okay? Now, if you were 74, and you wrote a book, and you had your picture on the, and you had your picture on a book like that, Breakthrough Health, at 74. Okay, now that's some serious
you guys.
information there. Okay.
Okay, are we going to go over and talk to him?
Harrison, did you see what happened? He's laughing
He's
too.
too busy.
You can go back to your seat if you want to. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Boy, he is good.
Yeah, he is.
I'm telling you, if I had an applause meter, I'd be giving it to you.
Great job.
There it is.
Hilarious.
Thank you, Pete. Oh, good to have you guys, Ted, Sharon.
You are so funny.
Look at her. Look at her necklace. I'm just drooling over there. Can you get a shot of that, Dave? Dave's really. I drive the guy crazy.
I love
Look
horses.
At that. Is that gorgeous? Or what? And can you get a shot of her boots since you got the camera there? Just move down to her boots. 'Cause look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that.
Go Seminoles.
Is that neat or what? So good to have you guys.
It's our blessing.
They're actually like our kids.
We are. Yeah, we are.
Did you see our book cover?
I love it. Can we have a copy of it?
Oh, we have to have a copy of that, Herman.
We'll frame that.
Look at this.
I can't believe
Look
that.
at that.
That is something.
There's our book cover right there. There you go. Okay. So
Somehow this one looks much better.
when you're talking 74, you know, that one right right there. Now you're talking right there. Look at
I
that.
like,
We have
I
to
like the
frame it.
long
Keep this.
hair.
Is that mine? Thank you so much. That'll be on my wall.
You'll never forget this interview, will you?
Well, I always remember your interviews are always the best.
This is one. I mean, you've written how many books? What?
I don't know, 8, 9, 10. I don't even know. I don't know.
I was going to say 20. Man, I feel like I've.
Well, we've done about.
I think I've covered every book you've
We've
had.
done about 10 or 15 self-help programs, and so we've had a lot of stuff.
You
yeah.
can't see it on here, but I'm actually mentioned on the back cover. It says he is a popular, talking about Ted, popular seminar, excuse me, speaker,
Seminary.
and has regularly shared the platform with such notable as Pastor Rod Parsley, okay, and then Herman Bailey, right in the middle of Rod Parsley, Herman Bailey, and T.D. Jake. Are you serious? I mean, first place, everybody knows them. Herman Bailey.
Who's that?
I'm sure they'll go, is there a misprint here?
No,
Who dropped that one in there? But it is a great book. I mean,
Thank you.
45 chapters, but it is really in depth.
Yeah,
Let's
it
start
is.
with the first one.
Breakthrough
Shirley
Health.
Bennett,
My mother-in-law,
your
Sharon's
mother-in-law.
mom, yes.
You say, without whom this book would not have been possible.
That's correct.
I mean, that's quite a statement.
Well, the reason that happened is because
Your mama?
Oh, yeah. My mother is almost 80 years old, no medication. She's on all of our supplements. She just took a motorhome trip all the way to Glacier Park in Montana.
By herself.
And back.
from Florida.
And had a blast.
In fact, we talked to her last night. We got her a new product. It's a natural organic beet powder extract that dilates the blood vessels to the brain and increases energy. And she called us up last night. She goes, I don't know what to do. I'm 78 and I'm so geeked up on this beet powder. She goes, I can't sleep. I feel so great.
I got to go play golf again. And she
No,
plays.
really, it does
she
that.
plays with everybody she plays with is younger than her,
Yeah.
but they don't realize that.
Go to the website and you can get everything he's talking about.
And this one's a good one too. This is the HGH email. We had a guy call us last week. In fact, we're going to be on TV with him next week in Atlanta, and he had high blood pressure. And he said, I don't know what to do with high blood pressure. And I said, really? I said, that's simple. I said, you take these 2 products, and it normalizes blood pressure within a week. And he
Really?
goes, you're kidding. And I said, no. So he called me up yesterday and said, I don't even know what to say. He goes, my blood pressure's perfect. 1 week. I can't believe this. And I said, well, yeah, I know.
Well, now,
Natural supplements.
Ted talks 95 mile an hour, so you got to really listen. And but I'm telling you, we were at his son's wedding. How long ago was that?
It's a couple
In
months.
June.
Couple months. June.
Okay.
June 29th.
Gorgeous wedding. I mean, the reception blew away anything I've ever been at. that was unbelievable at his place. But in fact, we've got a picture of the 2 of them. Dave, you got that? See that? It looks like a Chevrolet commercial.
It does. And I think they've talked about it.
But I would use that.
Yeah.
But that's his new daughter-in-law and his son
And his truck.
And his truck.
and his truck. And have you got that other picture? There they are. You can really see them. I mean,
That's when he was with my mother.
He's a good-looking guy, but he married way over his neck. Actually,
Like father, like
Lana's
son.
gonna kill me for that photo.
Everybody says she looks like you, Sharon.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a
and
compliment.
that was the cake at the wedding. Look at this, chocolate. But he likes mud.
Yeah,
right?
he had a truck.
Four-wheeling and
he's
trucks.
full macho.
Yeah.
Okay, and the chocolate is like, and look at the mud is splashed up on the bride and groom up on top. It was the most fascinating cake I've ever seen in my life. But I kept that on my iPhone and just had it pulled off. But
He's all about God, guns, and guts.
Wow.
He's
Yeah.
a tough dude. He was actually accepted into the Marine Corps as an officer.
Really?
Yeah, and then he decided not to go in for other reasons that we didn't talk about off the air.
Now he interrupted you and you said because of your mother-in-law, and you were going to start telling us why she
was
made all this possible.
something wrong with her health?
What happened is we had a real tight deadline on this book, and we had to have a bunch of computer work done on it.
Yeah.
And she stopped in her trip when she was in Yellowstone, and when she was already in Glacier National Park, and she was in Whitefish, Montana, and and stopped there.
so
at
they
the
obviously
campground.
didn't have the government shutdown. Otherwise,
Yeah,
she
I was
could have
gonna
been
say
there.
shutdown now,
Did you
isn't it?
know? Did you know?
Or
that
please push my button, get me started on this.
Did you know that people from Japan were refused to see the
Yellowstone.
Oh,
No.
Old Faithful.
An entire busload of German tourists and British tourists and Japanese tourists in Yellowstone were held in their rooms by gunpoint.
Yeah.
And refused to allow to be left. They could not leave their rooms in the park until they were forcibly extracted. They said they will never come back to the United States. And friends, you listen to me for a second. Now, I'm going to preach you for a second because I'm pretty aggravated about this. This is 1938, and we're in Germany now. This is Germany, and it's 1938, and we've got to make a decision on what we're going to do as a nation. Are we going to follow this route of fascism like Germany did and the nation was destroyed? Or are we going to stand firm for the Republic and for the Constitution?
Right.
And that's what I'm telling you. I can't be any more clear than
That's
this.
right.
But that's where we are right now. And I've heard so many people, because my mom was there, and she said, son, it happened so slowly we had no idea. This isn't happening slowly. For the first time in the history of the I'm about to get upset here.
Preach
The
it,
first
Ted.
time in the history of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., it's been fenced and corded off and blocked off and not allowed. And it's a walk-through amphitheater. Right. The Veterans Museum and the Veterans thing and basically in Washington was blocked off, and the World War II vets were not allowed to go there by gunpoint. And it was chained off. It's costly. It's requiring more security to block these open-air museums than they've ever had there before. This is tyranny. Yeah. And if you don't see the tyranny that's developed around us, it's unbelievable.
Wake up, America.
Wake up.
We have to
wake up. This is not a joke. This is 1938. This is Berlin. And I hear the cobblestone streets of Berlin echoing with the marching of the stormtroops. And if we don't stop this now, we're going to lose the Republic. I can't be any more clear than that. I mean, that has nothing to do with my book, but that's just what's going on because I'm awake. I read 2 to 3 books a week. This is bad.
And he's restrained in what he's saying.
Yeah, no, I'm holding back.
Well, you get back on the book.
Actually, I'm as enthusiastic.
Yeah.
I hold back on every program as he is, because we have so many different viewers out there, okay? And I mean from every walk of life. But trust me, I'm 74 in my lifetime.
No.
And I know our grandchildren, they don't get it.
They don't
it's
get
like,
it. No, they
it's
really
like
don't.
hearing me say this or whatever, it's like I said, you have no idea what we have had up to this point.
That's right.
So 19.
You have, and let me tell you, as it moves forward, people are literally like they're breathing ether.
Yeah.
And it's
We're going to
not,
talk about why that's happening today. I'm going to tell you why everybody's so anesthetized. I'm going to tell you why.
So out of touch.
Okay, now listen to me for a second. You're going to think I'm completely sane, but insane, but you are saying what
he
it
came
is.
here to talk about nutrition.
No, I'm going to
No,
talk.
no,
I'm
he's
going
doing that right now.
I'm going
He's
to tell you why everybody's
transitioning.
anesthetized right now. Now, you listen to me, friends. You listen to me, saints, because this is important. Okay, this is more important than my book or promoting products. This is more important than everything. IG Farm in the 1940s, when the Nazis had their concentration camps, they tried to find drugs that would make the inmates servile and infertile. They couldn't find any. Basically, they could get the drugs, they could get the inmates to swallow. Until they found something that worked very, very well, and it was called fluoride. Fluoride, it makes people servile, it makes them infertile, it makes them stupid, it drops their IQ scores by 20 points, it makes them walk around in a stupor. We saw the records from the IG Farm research that was done in the concentration camps in 1945. And in 1946, the United States government started putting fluoride in the water of the citizens of the United States of America. And I'm telling you right now, the fluoride, the statin drugs, all of these things, these immunizations, the mercury, the flu shots, 3 flu shots in a row with somebody who's a senior increases the risk of senile dementia by 50% because of the mercury, because they contain thimerosal. We have so destroyed the consciousness of this country using fluoride and mercury and fluoride that people walk around in a stupor. If you don't believe that, go to Walmart one time. You can't even get anybody to help you in those stores or any of the big department stores. They walk around like they don't even know they're there. And everybody is asleep. And it was done on purpose as far as I'm concerned with all of these drugs. I talk about it in this book. I talk about what the American Medical Association has done. They're trying to take our rights away to buy vitamins away again. It's back on before Congress again. Because they don't want you to have top mental acuity. They're putting us all to sleep, and we're being anesthetized by the drugs and the chemicals in our water and our food, not to mention the GMO products they're feeding us now, what that does to the brain. And friends, if we don't stop this tyranny that's taken over, the globalists that have taken over the government of the United States of America, we're going to stand here 20 years later, if we're even alive anymore, we're going to go, my God, why have you forsaken us? Why have you allowed this to happen? And God had nothing to do with
That's
it.
right.
The people in the United States stood back, and they let tyranny envelop them and take them over, just like Nazi Germany did in 1933 when they passed the Enabling Act. And in 2001, we passed the Patriot Act. We gave the rights to the federal government to take our constitutional liberties away, and we did it, and we applauded it, and we thought it was great. It wasn't great. It was tyranny, and now 10 years later, we've got this mess going on, and what are we going to do about it? We have to stand firm. We have to stand firm, or we're going to lose the republic. And that's how I feel, because I've seen what they've done to us. Because I'm 57, I'm almost 58 years old, and the reality is, what I've seen happen in this country in the last 50 years blows my mind. We came from Andy of Mayberry, Mary, and Gomer Pyle, USMC, when I was a child on TV, to every perverted sitcom and every manner of filth that you've ever seen on the TV sets. And it's disgusting what we've done to the moral fiber of this country. People don't even know what the Civil War was fought about. They don't know what the Revolutionary War was fought about. They don't have any idea what was going on. The education system is so bad, and we've been so dumbed down. Children are getting over 60 immunizations now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Kids don't need 60 immunizations. It's nonsense, and we're destroying the very fabric of our culture. And we talk about it in this book. If you want to buy the book, great. If you don't want the book, I don't care. But the point is this. You've got to realize, if you don't stand for something, the veterans of World War II who refused to go to the memorial, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that's tyranny.
horrific.
This isn't funny anymore. This isn't a joke. This is a nightmare, and we're living in it. This is fascism. We're following the footsteps and the template of the Third Reich. And if we can't see that, then we're blind to history and we don't see what's going on. And forgive me for yelling, but doggone, I've had enough, Herman.
And
Now the show's almost over with. We're done.
the reason I'm not stopping him is because he basically is reading my script.
Oh, yeah.
Because, but I have to hold myself back because she hears it in the car.
Oh, no. But it's true. This is America. What is it? I don't know what this is anymore.
The veterans,
It's not America anymore.
They say there's going to be 1 million veterans in Washington because and the truckers, they're going to shut down D.C.
But
You know what they did 3 days? You know what they did 3 days ago? the same place they were denied the veterans access to, they allowed the illegal aliens a stage of march.
And they build a platform for them.
They're doing it like to show us.
They turned the veterans back, and the illegal aliens, which are bankrupting this country with their social welfare systems, were allowed to go where the veterans who defended our country against fascism and Nazi Germany couldn't go. No, this is insanity. We have the worst president we've ever had in the history of this planet right now in the United States, and it's not getting any better. It's getting worse, and we need to get rid of all these members of Congress that are pushing this Obamacare. I just wrote a whole article on Obamacare and the Affordable Health Care Act. They're taking away all your rights for health care with this. This isn't what you think it is.
No, it's not.
This is not what you think it is. This isn't about free health care. It's about tyranny.
Yeah. No,
that's what this is.
Yeah. A girl on radio just yesterday, she said, I was paying $400 a year. She just found out to get the same thing because she's a year older, it's $4,500 a year now.
That's right.
And she says, and I was told that my health care would never change.
That's right.
$4,500,
right.
$400.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's going to be so many surprises.
It's going to bankrupt the country. This Obamacare is going to bankrupt. And that's why the congressmen who are there, the Tea Party Republicans, who've said, no, we're not going to fund this because it's going to destroy the country.
Yeah.
Pray for your
And now they're called white jobs.
Pray for them.
Yeah. Now they're called basically tyrannies, the revolutionaries and tyrants and terrorists.
Terrorists, yeah.
See, everybody who doesn't march, and if you're not a terrorist now, you're a racist. It's awful. It's awful. Everybody's a racist. If you're a patriot, now you're a racist.
Okay.
I mean, it's insanity. This whole thing's insanity.
Okay, I'm reading his book on page 7.
Don't take any more beet juice.
This stuff.
This stuff.
And your mental clarity is incredible.
This stuff
took a little sip
what it does to blood flow to the brain. And guys, I'm not using a teleprompter. Okay,
No,
this is just me.
no.
Okay,
Well,
this is
we
how
wanna
I
help
normally,
I'm not normally this wide open.
Normally, I keep Ted contained, right? I mean, many years I've
Ted
kept
contained in a little cage.
And how many times have we listened to Herman?
Yeah, but let me tell you, when he started talking about that subject, I go, you know what? I'm just going to leave him alone. Because
I don't think you had a choice.
Herman,
let me tell you, all I would have had to do with Ted is I'm like his dad.
Yeah, he
Give
is.
him that look.
I just tap his arm and he's done.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, that message, I hope, scares the bejeebies out of you.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we are literally walking around.
Precipice.
It's like we just finished an operation and we still have the ether that's kind of rubbing off. We are absolutely
anesthetized.
Like zombies.
And people then, because you don't like this president, that you're a racist. You got to,
it's ridiculous.
Let me tell you, I wish he were the best guy on the planet, the best president. Makes Reagan look like he wasn't even in office.
That's right.
That's what I would wish. But let me tell you, when he said he is going to completely change America, that's what he said in one of his speeches. Yeah. And it went
transform.
That went right over the head.
Yeah.
Right.
Guess what? He's on track.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
And listen to me for a second, since we're basically off topic anyhow, it doesn't make a difference. My favorite president of the last century was John F. Kennedy. Now, that's probably surprised her because he was a Democrat. Because he signed Executive Order 11110, look it up, which basically ended up getting him killed. That's why they murdered him, if you want to know why John F. Kennedy was killed, because of Executive Order 11110. My second favorite president was Ronald Reagan. Yeah. What this is going on in the White House now, we knew he was a socialist when he took office. We knew what he was going to do. And when he said, I'm going to fundamentally transform this country, did we think he was kidding? It wasn't a joke. He said what he was going to do, and he's doing it. And if we don't change this,
we the people
have to stand in aggregate against this, or it's going to get worse and worse and worse until they march us off into the concentration camps. And here's what's interesting. Let me tell you what my parents did. My mom was in Germany in 1915. Mein erstes Sprache war Deutsch. I speak perfect German, okay? And here's the thing. She was born in 1916, 1915 in Germany. She died a few years back. And what's interesting about this, she told me how the tyranny slowly happened in Germany and they never saw it coming. Until finally, the Christians across the street from her one night were talking about Hitler and how they didn't like what he was doing to the Jews. The next night, those Christians disappeared in the middle of the night. The following day, their house was bulldozed, and it was hauled off by dump trucks. The following day, they resodded the yard. There was no memory of them. It happened all over. Whenever they disappeared, and they were never seen, their children, or anybody again. Friends, Patriots, saints, listen to me. We've got to stand together in the aggregate. The special interest groups don't matter anymore. None of this matters anymore. We're about to lose this country and this republic if we don't do something, and we don't do something now.
That's right.
This is that point in history.
That's right.
We're in 1933 Berlin, 1938 Berlin, and we're watching this tyranny unfold. And we're going to be, if we don't write history for ourselves, if we don't win what's going on right now, we'll be considered the terrorists of this age.
Yeah.
We'll be, as the United States was destroyed, they'll say it was the Patriots' fault this happened. They're the ones who did this. No, it's not. They've sold our country to the Chinese. The Chinese are unbelievably mad about what's going on because they owe trillions of dollars of our bonds. If the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 had never happened, this never would have happened. The international banking community and the globalists have completely taken over our country, and if we don't stop this, get rid of the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, go back to sound money, restore Glass-Steagall, it's not going to get fixed. It's going to get worse. And if you can't see that, then you've got to open your eyes. Get off the fluoride, get off the statin drugs, get off all this junk you're putting in your body, and wake up. Get out of the anesthesia.
Yeah. And they're even saying get rid of the Constitution, and we can let all of the things that our current president wants to put in. If it wasn't for the Constitution, the Democrats actually said this, all of this would be in. So that means, watch out, folks, pretty soon we're going to have a new Constitution. And you're saying to yourself, that will never happen.
No.
Did we think what we're talking about right now would ever happen? Not in your lifetime. Certainly not in my lifetime.
I thought we owned the national parks, we the people. How do they have the right to board up the national parks? You go to the Great Smoky National Park now, there's signs it's closed. We're supposed to own it. It's hiking trails, for heaven's sakes. And we can't even go on a hiking trail anymore, and they have armed guards blocking the hiking trails? I mean, really? I mean, it's a hiking trail that we paid for with the blood of the saints and the patriots of this country, and we're told we can't go to the Washington or the Jefferson War Memorial now because they don't want us to?
And the senior adults had to leave their property because their property was, they never do it, was supposedly belonged to the government, their property. So they can't even go back to their home.
It's unbelievable.
Until this is over. I mean, it's a wake-up call, folks, because what you're seeing there
is just the beginning.
All they have to do is say, oh, by the way, where you live, that land was previously government land. We've just owned it again. Mm-hmm. So, bye-bye.
And they're all armed now, so.
Yeah, I
mean,
the
police departments now look like military units.
I mean, like the Native Americans, the Trail of Tears. Mm-hmm. Remember that one, where when the government lied to them and just
how did
absolutely
we go on this track today?
Well, I mean, we're going to have
honestly,
we're going to have
about people being asleep.
We're going to have a trail of tears ourselves.
We're talking about what these chemicals
now, what
do.
does this book say in it?
In fact, here's one thing it says.
I know we're almost out of time.
Here's one thing it says: 784,000 deaths are caused by conventional medicine each year.
Makes it the leading cause of death in the United States.
784,000. And then, of course, I'm supposed to have surgery because I did something stupid and got a hernia. He says in his book, surgical errors, unnecessary x-rays, unnecessary hospitalization. So, I mean, people get a simple operation and they don't come out again.
Well, because they end up getting these different infections like MRSA. Staph is MRSA.
MRSA, yeah.
MRSA sometimes it kills people. See, here's the thing that nobody understands. It's easy to stay healthy. I tell you how to do that in the book. It's easy to stay healthy. It's easy to have good top mental acuity. I'm almost 60 years old. I feel great. And no, I haven't had any coffee today, but I did take a purple stick. It's got some green tea extract in it. Okay, I did do that. I'm not gonna be honest with you guys.
By the way, these little 5-minute energy things.
I've never used one of those. But we have a product called Purple Sticks, and they're phenomenal. And it's a green tea extract, and what it does, it doesn't elevate cortisol. No, this stuff is better than Purple Sticks. This makes you feel good all day long. This is ridiculous. Purple Sticks last for a few hours. But back to this. If you want to feel good and you want to look good and you want to have tremendous energy and tremendous mental acuity, get the book. If you want the country to remain a republic, call your congressman. This is nuts, and stop this, okay? But the reality is, if you want to keep your health good, there's certain things you've got to do to stay healthy. You've got to take certain supplements. You have to eat certain foods. You have to stay away from GMO foods. We talk about all this in the book. You have to keep your girls from taking Gardasil shots, which have been linked to multiple deaths and also massive problems with infertility with these girls that are taking Gardasil shots. It goes on and on. We have how many chapters in this book, Herman? You know.
45.
There's 45 chapters in the book, and we cover topic after topic after topic after topic, including statin drugs, cholesterol drugs, which have never been proven to reduce the risk of heart disease.
You can't go to the doctor without them trying to get you on cholesterol.
Let me tell you something. This is important. This is super important. Now, you listen to me for a minute, Saints. This is so important. If your cholesterol doesn't stay between 200 and 250 and you go way under 200, you can't produce testosterone. If you can't produce testosterone, you're not going to be a man. You're not going to act like a man anymore. You're going to start turning into a girly man because you can't produce testosterone. And you're going to stand by and let tyranny take over.
So that's my problem.
But you've got to have testosterone. You have to have cholesterol
People
to make
behind
testosterone.
the cameras are raising their hands.
His testosterone's too high. That's the problem.
Well, how come the doctors
I'd say,
always tell
one
you
more
it's got
year
to
and
be?
I'm a total eunuch.
That's really.
But you remember the way it used to be?
I remember. I can remember. I was 19.
Okay. And this product, by the way, this product also acts as a natural Viagra without making you go blind or deaf. There you
Or all
go.
the other side effects.
Sharon Brewer has a chapter in here.
Oh, whoa.
Victory over PMS,
Yes.
menopause.
Yes. I've experienced both. I've gone through it. I put together a protocol
She's
that
56.
works. My family loves me again, and
Yeah.
so it works. We've got certain
Does it have
supplements.
hormones
And you
in
guys
it?
are still married through all of that.
Not necessarily hormones. There's certain herbs and stuff
supplements.
that
Yeah.
you can use. And I put together a protocol for PMS and our daughter-in-law. She's doing the PMS thing.
Well,
I'm
we've
doing
had
the
30
menopause
years
thing.
of marriage, and we've had 29 great years of marriage.
Yeah.
1 year was awful because she went into menopause. And no, it's true.
Yeah.
We talk about it in the book. And I finally told her, I said, sweetie, we got to fix this. We got to find a natural way to combat this because this isn't working for me because you're not the same person anymore.
I didn't even want to be with myself.
Who entered my body?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And
It was
we got it
terrible.
fixed. She's completely normal again.
And you've got that whole
The whole
story.
protocol.
Oh,
Calls in the book,
I'm better
yeah.
than normal. I'm better than I ever
You,
was.
you talk
That's
about
right.
a simple trick to turn back your aging clock. He's got that in the book. I mean, this many chapters, for goodness sakes. Senility, you
Oh,
got
yeah.
that covered?
Senile dementia, yep.
All
Talk
of that.
about why it happens, how to stop
Alzheimer's.
it. Alzheimer's.
Yep.
We talk about a natural herb that's been so effective with Alzheimer's that's considered one of the new therapy protocols. We talk about a new herb also that was shown with adult onset diabetes. When people were pre-diabetic, they had a 100% rate of not becoming diabetic with this herb. We talk about it in the book, and we tell you exactly what the herb is. And I tell you what, we've had tremendous results in working with folks that are adult onset diabetic, because adult onset diabetes is it's so easy to fix. Even the University of Kentucky a few years ago did a study, and they were able to get 85% of the people who are adult onset diabetics off of insulin by changing their diet and lifestyle. And we talk about that in the book.
Wow. He has a prostate supplement that
Yep,
works.
Yep.
Uh,
You have to get up in the middle of the night all the time, go to the bathroom, it stops all that.
He's been sleeping with me.
No, I have not. No, God. No. My testosterone is higher than that.
He has a simple remedy for joint and back pain.
Yeah.
You want that one? But I mean, it is. I told him. I mean, I'm serious. This has more information than literally all of his other. I mean, all of his other books are great. All of his other books combined, right here.
There's
Well,
a
I'm
sense
just-
of urgency right now, and that's,
Yeah,
must
that's
be.
why
I'm
we-
taking this book. This
It
book is mine.
It is.
I'm going to read this.
It is
book.
fabulous. Let me tell you something. I don't care how healthy you are. If you don't know Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, it doesn't make any difference. You're going to die without Christ. Trust Him today as your personal Lord and Savior. God bless you. Bye-bye.